Seahawks taking Jadarian Price, the running back out of Notre Dame, the backup running back out of Notre Dame. Wow, too, which would be wild.
That would be crazy because I have him as a second round pick. But I mean,
32, that's pretty much a second round value.
Second round value, yeah. Because that's crazy. The two top running backs are both coming out of Notre Dame this year.
Yeah, that is wild, ain't it? Like I said, I have my critiques about how their draft played out. So Ray, let's go ahead and see.
I shouldn't have did that. That's my fault.
Peter Schrager and Daniel Jeremiah, they combined. They collabed on that.
Yeah, I don't think each did. Okay.
No. That was the two top. Those two of the top NFL draft experts, bro. So I would love for Caleb Downs to drop. Let's go ahead and get the draft started. We're gonna be picking for these teams. Try to be realistic for them. Fernando Mendoza, no trade. We're gonna try to see how it would if it just fell to us.
Just trade it.
Maybe on the second when we do, we'll actually do the trade. Fernando Mendoza, I think is going 1 to Raiders, right? We're both on that. Yeah, I think we're both with that. New York Jets, I can see them going Arville Reese or David Bailey. I can see them going either way. I do think they're going to trade out of that. I think Arville Reese probably goes. Yeah, I think he goes first. I think we could do more. The Cardinals, this is either David Bailey, or do you have somebody else?
Or offensive line?
They could try to build the offensive line, but it depends, man. The Cardinals are going to the ball more. I think they traded down too. I think they traded out of this spot. But for the sake of this, I'm going to give them the best available. I'm going to go best BPA for them. So David Bailey.
The biggest golf tournament of the year is here, and now you can trade the tournament on Kelsey. Scotty Scheffler is trading at 15% to win it all. That means a $100 trade pays out $666 if he wins it all. On Kelsey, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house, and as the odds move, you can buy in and out of your position all tournament long. For a limited time, download the Kelsey app and use code PLAY to get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI. Kelsey, trade on anything.
Tennessee Titans. This is where we probably going to disagree a little bit as far as who goes where. Because you feel like Jeremiah Love goes. Is that what you say? You think Love goes to the Titans right here?
I think Jeremiah Love. I'm going to go with receiver, but that may be high. Some people may think that may be high for your first receiver.
I think they go offensive line. I think you protect the young quarterback that you got. And what is the Titans' offensive line rank?
Yeah, I would say that too. But if you would have told me a couple months ago, before Ruben Bain's line, I would have said either Ruben Bain or David Bailey there for Tennessee.
You said Ruben Bain or David Bailey?
Several weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. Ruben Bain kind of slide up there. I like that. I think he kind of fell out that slot. So I don't like going by PFF, to be honest. But PFF had their offensive line rankings like 22nd overall. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you see them take the tackle. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you see them take the tackle. Who is their offensive line? I want to be realistic. Titans depth chart. Go ahead, though. Will you have any thoughts while I'm looking up this depth chart?
Yeah, I would say, I would either say either it's going to be running back, offensive line, or if they want to reset high for receiver, or they want to trade back. That's another trade back candidate team right there for it too. But we're not doing that, and it's my draft, so I would say Jeremiah Love.
So their tackle is Dan Moore Jr. Their right tackle is J.C. Layton. Their left tackle was drafted in the 2021 offseason. In the 2025 offseason, they signed him. They re-signed him. So I don't know if they're planning to make a move there at the tackle. The offensive line did not play very well. I can see Love going here. I can see them going Jeremiah Love and having him with Cam Moore. So let's go with yours. Let's say they draft Jeremiah Love right now. New York Giants. I think we see them take one of our guys.
I think man, like,
I think they go corner before they go safety in the top 5, though.
Then in that case, it's gonna be delaying. You have to go delaying.
But but I can also see them going offensive line. It has so many goals. That's why I wouldn't be surprised. Man, 3 through 8, man, that's gonna be so much like volatility as far as whether teams actually stay right there in those spots, bro. Because 3 through 8, man, they look like prime candidates to be traded. No cap. Prime candidates, brother.
They could go receiver. They need another receiver. Obviously,
Okay, some shit.
You know, that's the other thing they need too. So, like, Carnell Tate could be at a position right there for you.
Sony Styles has been marked there a lot by some people.
He has.
That's
That's just an eyeball. I mean, I think for this scenario, let's go BPA.
BPA. So BPA for the Giants would be Francis Malga, the offensive tackle. I would not be surprised. They don't. I know they don't have a top dollar tackle signed over there right now. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go offensive line. You got Jackson Dart. You got Scatterboo. You might think you could just add, another running back to be a 1-2 punch with Scatterboo later in the rounds. Get you a receiver at some point. You still got the Dexter Lawrence trade potentially there, so they might have that in their back pocket to get back in the first round or something to draft a receiver.
Yeah.
You never know what the Giants will do. So I think the smartest thing for them to do would definitely be BPA. And I think working on their offensive line. Now, on here it says their need is interior offensive line. So maybe Francis Malaga wouldn't be the best pick right there, but
You don't want to reach that high.
yeah, I'm about to say a reach that I don't think you can reach that high. So we're just gonna slot in an offensive line right there. Now
That way you can move somebody around on the roster too. Maybe someone needs a tackle, maybe better suited to play guard.
right.
It's already on there, so you never know. Because right now, as far as the interior offensive lineman, your best one is gonna be the guy out of Penn State. That's your top interior offensive lineman, which maybe the only one that goes in the first round.
Yeah. And he's 16th ranked player right here, so I don't think you reach right there at 5. I think you could probably justify drafting a lineman and then being like, hey, I need one of you guys to move inside or something. Either that or I would have probably given him Carnell Tate or Master Delane. Just me. I think it would have been one of those 2 guys. Cleveland Browns, though, their needs are quarterback, offensive tackle, wide receiver, edge, and corner.
Exactly what I was about to say. Yep. You need to get either Fano out of Utah, Fano, how you say his name, or Carnell Tate. That's either one of those 2 picks, either offensive line or receiver.
I can see that, and they still have the corner over there. What's my guy? Denzel Ward. They still have Denzel Ward. So I don't know if you were pressed to go corner, you know what I'm saying, that high. It may be like, that's a guy opposite of Denzel Ward that can play good enough. Let's go add something to this offense. I absolutely think we need offense. So, Ray, I agree. Let's give them a receiver. Let's give them a true one. Let's give them Carnell Tate. All right? At 7, we got the Washington Commanders, and I hate it, but I do believe they're taking one of our guys. It's 100% either Mansour or Sony. Huh?
I think they're going with Sony Styles.
Think so?
Fuck! Ruben Van Jr.
Damn! Can we give them Ruben? They wouldn't sign 2 edges. They got Kelevon Chase on and Odafe Owe. Paid them big. I think they spent like almost $100 million between them 2 dudes. So I don't know if they draft an edge, bro.
So they're probably going Sony Styles.
Yeah, I think they end up going Sony Styles right here.
What does that corner situation look like?
Unfortunately, they need a corner. Unfortunately, I think they go Sony there. It's either going to be Sony or Mansour. And Dan Quinn is a big DBs guy, so I could easily see him going Mansour Delane. Easily. New Orleans Saints, we kind of talked about this a little bit. I think Kellen finally gets some weapons. I think he goes offense here. Yes, they need more defense, but I think that Kellen's feeding to get him some premium offensive pieces, bro. Yeah. But looking at this, Makai Lemon.
I would do Makai Lemon because I think Jordan Tyson got injured or something like that, so he's been kind of on a slide.
I can see him going to the Saints.
Yeah.
I can see him going to the Saints for sure. Let's do Makai Lemon. All right, Kansas City Chiefs.
Well,
Now, I floated the idea. I would be surprised if the Chiefs, you know, when teams like the Chiefs have been as successful as they've been, and they haven't been successful because they drafted well. When they've been as successful as they've been, they get a little bit arrogant in how they build their team because they rely on guys too much, right? And they may be thinking, get Pat a weapon. We got maybe one more year Travis Kelce. I floated earlier on AOSN. Kenyon Sadiq could be a play here. This is a little bit too high. It's a little bit too high. So we're going to be more realistic. I do think with them trading away their corners, they go corner here. And so I do think that Mansour Delane is damn near a lock. If he makes it this far, I think he's damn near a lock going to Kansas City.
Yeah.
You agree?
I agree with that. I agree with that for sure.
All right, at 10, what you think of the Cincinnati at 10, bro?
Defense for sure. Defense for sure. Just lost Trey Hendrickson. So, is Ruben Bay still on the corner?
Yeah, he's still there.
I can see Ruben Bay going there.
I see that. I can see that. I can see them being like, you know what, screw you, Trey. We got our new guy. I can absolutely see that. A lot of people think they're going to go DB, but their needs are defensive line, linebacker, safety. They literally need every defensive position. Let's go best pick available for defense for them. And we'll say Ruben Bain. And it makes sense. You let Trey Hendrickson go. You don't tag him. You don't play all the games with him. Right. So they draft one of the top edges in the draft. You go Ruben Bain right there for the Cincinnati Bengals. Miami Dolphins. I am a firm belief after their experience with Tua. We say he's receiver. But after their experience with Tua and a quarterback being injured constantly, right?
Yeah.
I would not at all be surprised to see them go offensive line, especially knowing that they're probably going to lean on Devon a chain quite a bit this year.
Yeah.
Their run game. I would not at all be surprised to see them go offensive line or receiver. I don't think they go defense. I really don't. They still have Minka, don't they?
No.
Oh, he did get traded to this, right? But I don't think they go defense. Even though Jeff Hafley is a defensive guy, so they could possibly go defense. And I think Jeff Hafley is one of the dudes that he liable to fuck around and take Caleb Downs if he's still there. But I can easily see Jermod McCoy slide in here. I can see Spencer Bano. I can see Jordan Tyson. Me personally, I think bringing in Malik Willis and not having anybody for him to throw to for real is a crime.
Yeah. Jalen Tolbert is his number one receiver, I think, right now.
Yeah, so I could see Miami being a team that's like, let's get us some offense. Let's get a receiver.
Tyson, probably.
Let's go Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
And then now that leaves us with the Dallas Cowboys. I am running this pick to the effing podium.
Yeah.
I'm running this pick to the podium. Now, you got some picks here you can look at and try to play around with Jermod McCoy or Caleb. I'm taking Caleb Downs. I ain't even discussing this. Caleb Downs. Right? Then you got the Los Angeles Rams, and you start to get some of these. We're going to simulate. I want to simulate some of these, but we're going to pick them once we get to 20. The Rams, their needs are edge, wide receiver, D-line, linebacker, and cornerback. They just traded for a corner.
And they signed a corner, too.
They paid big money to corner. I don't think corner's a need for them, for real. Because it would have to be like Kendrick Falk or somebody. It would have to be Kendrick Falk or Hakeem Messador. They have receiver listed as a need for them as well. D-line. Yikes. What does their O-line look like? This is a nasty spot for the Rams to be in.
Yeah. Because if they're there, they're probably hoping for one of those receivers to be there. or one of those. I don't know. They could probably still go corner. Dude, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. I think they just got 2 high-dollar corners. There's no way I see them going another pick, that first-round pick on the corner, especially the first. No way I see that. I can see them going edge. I can see them going. I don't think there's another receiver that you reach for right here.
Well, here's an oddball. Here's an oddball idea. Quite a bit of a reach. What if they try to go ahead and get Matthew Stafford's replacement?
Ty Simpson.
Try to groom him. There's a bit of a reach.
I wouldn't be surprised, right? I mean, you got Matthew Stafford 1-2 seasons max, bro. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think they have another pick.
I don't want to do it that high. Maybe later.
Oh, no, they don't have another pick. They don't have another. So this is their only pick in the first round.
So that was going to have to be an impact for now.
And Kendrick Falk.
You said, did they say receiver on there?
Yeah, but there's not really another receiver.
I mean, for Boston, out of Washington.
You got Omar Cooper Jr., but I think that's a little high for him.
It's a little high for him.
I can see them going edge right here. Their defensive backs were kind of shifty last. They weren't that great last year.
That's why I think Jamal probably makes sense.
I can see them going Jamal. Let's give Jamal one point. I actually like the idea of Phineas Sadiq. Yeah, I like the idea of Phineas Sadiq right here. I think that's when we see the tight end go off the board. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they need edge, linebacker, defensive line, wide receiver, quarterback.
Edge. I would go
Kendrick Falk.
Falk or Messidor.
Yeah, one of the two, Kendrick Falk or Messidor. Let's give him the highest rated edge. There's not a linebacker that really fits right here, so let's give him Kendrick Falk. Mm-hmm. You got New York Jets via Indy. They got quarterback, inside offensive line, defensive line, edge, and corner. So we could see Ty Simpson here. Mm-hmm. This could be a Ty Simpson spot. Who do they have playing quarterback for them this season?
Smith. But I think if you go get a quarterback, you're going to wait till next year. You're going to wait till next year.
Probably wait till next year for that. Yeah. Offensive line. You start building the offensive line for that guy in. You start building your offensive line. Right here, you go to inside offensive lineman from Penn State. That would be perfect value. You go Spencer Fano. You go Monroe Freeland. Let's give them Spencer. Let's give them because they got who they get last. Who's on their offensive line?
I don't remember, bro.
Shanu and Armand Membo.
Yes, okay.
So their offensive line is decent. I think you draft another young guy, that's pretty much set. I think they go edge. I think they go edge right here.
Or you can go with David Boston. Was it Denzel Boston? What's his name? Boston out of Washington, the receiver. Pair him up with Garrett Wilson. On the other side.
They got him. It could go there. Casey Concepcion.
Yep, this guy's going to the rise. Cooper. Also, too, from Indiana's getting
Omar Cooper Jr. I think they end up. Let's go. Let's give them the best inside offensive lineman available. He's gonna go Ione right there. Detroit Lions. They need a tackle badly. Let's give them Spencer Fano. I think they would run to the podium if he fell to them right there.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings, they need a safety, linebacker, wide receiver, edge, and defensive line. I think Dylan Thieneman is a really, really natural fit right here. Kind of in the Harrison Smith kind of thing for the Vikings.
Yeah.
I think Dylan Thieneman would be a really natural fit for the Vikings. Then you get to the Panthers. They need offensive tackle, safety, corner, inside offensive lineman, and a linebacker.
So I would go offensive tackle. I would go either.
So they got Monroe Freeland right there.
Yeah, Georgia.
Just looking you right in your face. Yeah, from Georgia.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them that at the BPA as well. As we get back to the Cowboys, and the last pick we really care about is mine. And see, Akeem Messidor is the best available. He's the BPA right here. Even after us doing our thing, He's BPA right here, and you got Caleb Downs as a safety already. They have your other needs listed as edge, linebacker, D-line, and corner. I think linebacker should be listed as a need before edge. This is why this is a premium spot to trade back for me. But unfortunately, bro, if we went BPA, it would be a King Messidor.
Yeah.
Dang.
I really think
What if they go Omar Cooper Jr.? They done brought him in for 30s and stuff and been talking to him.
They're not doing that. Not this year.
Avion Terrell?
You said what?
Maybe Avion Terrell? I ain't gonna lie, I think they go.
But you don't need. But if you got Caleb Downs, you need Avion Terrell.
You don't. And I think CJ Allen staring him right there in the face is too much of a. I think that's too much of a tempt. CJ Allen right there.
Man, if you're going BPA, damn.
I'm not going. I'm not going BPA right here. I'm sorry. I can't go edge right here. And linebacker's too big of a need. Inside linebacker's too big of a need, and there's too huge of a drop off from C.J. Allen, Jacob Rodriguez, Anthony Hill to the next group of guys, in my opinion. Because I think those three guys can come in and be day one starters. Inside linebacker.
Can you take a look there and look and see what the rankings are right now according to this between Allen, Rodriguez, Hill? I kind of want to see what the.
So they got Anthony Hill and Rodriguez, the underdog, and Jake Golday. They got all these guys as like mid-thirds, late to mid-thirds. Specifically, Anthony Hill and Jake Rodriguez are early mid-third. Jake Golday is kind of like a mid to late third. Or second, I'm sorry. Not third, second, y'all. My bad. C.J. Allen's the only, outside of Sony, he's the only inside linebacker in his rank with a first round grade. I'm taking C.J. right here. I'm taking C.J. right here. Even on the third, you could go for a guy like a Kyle Lewis or, somebody like that. You could. I love Jacob Rodriguez, though.
Man, if we
look at the edges... See, look, this is what I'm talking about, though. Like, look at the drop-off with the linebackers. Right? You go from 28 all the way to 44. With edges, though, you go 19, 27, 33, 38, 42, 47, 50, 58, 67. You see what I'm saying? It's so many edges that are grouped right in that same area, bro. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I want to go edge right there.
But yeah, but also you got to think about it too. With us not having a second rounder.
Exactly. You're not going to get one of the better linebackers.
Oh, man, that's...
You probably have a better chance trying to draft an edge later on than you would drafting a linebacker that you think could come in and start. Because whatever edge you draft, he don't have to start. Rashawn Gary and Donovan Azaraku, or for all intents and purposes, probably penciled in as your starters. And then they fuck around and make a trade for a Jonathan Grenard, or they bring like a vet in or something. And it's like, you don't have to have your rookie edge start.
So here's what I'm thinking here, okay? So let's just on our base of the 3-4, right? Who are your three starting down linemen in your base 3-4, right? Gary, Quinnen, and Clark?
No, Gary's they're going to have Gary outside.
Yeah. But I'm talking about hand on the ground. Your three hand on the ground guys, and your 3-4. Who's it going to be?
Right, but it's not a pure 3-4. So I think you'll see Gary kind of like standing up. You'll see both Gary and Ezzy. They'll be standing up, still close to the line of scrimmage. Somebody going to have their hand in the dirt. I think they're going to play with it.
I think because Ezra Rocco, he's going to be a stand-up, outside linebacker essentially, a stand-up rusher.
Right.
That's what he's going to be. Then the other side is going to be...
Or he's going to have his hand in the ground, because Ezzy can have his hand in the ground, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what I'm trying to think. Like,
that's why I say you don't need an edge to come in and, like, start. You don't. You don't. But we need a linebacker. And there's no other linebackers on the market.
Grainger knows that as the procurement coordinator in manufacturing, you can count on auto reordering to have the PPE you need on hand. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Unless you go get Jordan Brooks. You know what I'm saying? Unless you go get Jordan Brooks, I think you have to to get linebacker. You have to.
Let's do it.
I mean, this edge, bro, like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, all right. Edge rusher are all these guys, are 10 edges going to get taken in the second round for real? Are all these guys going on? 10 edges.
And in a second,
10? How many positions? There's 22 positions. There's 22 positions on the field.
I would say probably 4 to 5.
Maybe 4 or 5 of them. But guess what? 4 or 5 of these guys come off. You're still picking. At that point, you're picking for Malachi Lawrence, R. Mason Thomas, who they've had in for 30 by the way. You look at Romello Height, another guy they've had in for 30 visit, by the way.
That's the third rounder. So yeah, I mean,
I'm going linebacker.
from that logic, from you're saying, yeah.
And then look at the drop off. I mean, Jacob Rodriguez and Anthony Jr. are guaranteed second round guys, and you don't have a second round pick. They are guaranteed second round. That's as low as they go.
Well, I guess if you're going to take a linebacker, I guess you're going to take the one out of all three of those you like the best. And me personally, I like Rodriguez a little bit more than I like C.J. Allen.
Okay.
So
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I think Jacob Rodriguez would be a fucking stud. I wouldn't be mad at Allen or Rodriguez. I wouldn't. But for the purpose of BPA right here,
you take C.J. Allen.
At the position, best pick available at that position, even though I would prefer to trade back. It ain't got C.J. Allen ranked number 28. Like I said, I would prefer to trade back 6-7 spots, bro. I would prefer to trade back 6-7 spots.
So let's see. Let's do a trade back.
No, we ain't doing trades on this one. I already said that an hour ago when we started.
And if we're staying at this, I gotta take Messidor. I'm sorry. That value.
No, hell no. Overruled. I'm taking linebacker. Hell no. Overruled. I'm not going. I already said what I was doing. I just can't. And they already, Schrager them already gave us buddy anyway. So, interesting. We'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and take a look at this draft. So this is how we have our draft panning out right here. I wouldn't be mad at all. They said we reached a little bit for C.J. Allen, but that's fine.